And welcome to the Archie Luxury program. Today I want to continue the series Wristwatch Legends, and today I finally do the talk on the Rolex Submariner and the Rolex Sea Dweller. And look, I couldn't have a series on legends without talking about the most popular sports watch of all time, the Rolex Submariner and Rolex Sea Dweller. And look, I've given the Submariner a lot of flack. I've said it's like an asshole. Everyone has one, but let's put that into perspective. Let's back that truck up, and let's reveal a few things about it. I mean, for starters, Archie has owned probably about 10 to 20 Submariners in his life. He's worked as a trader, bought and sold heaps of them, and he's always made good money on them. But you know, at the moment Archie doesn't have a Submariner in the range, and that's something, if there's a rich sponsor there who wants to donate a Submariner to Archie, Archie would love the no date sapphire model, like a 14060. That's what Archie would really love. So if you wanted to gift that to Archie, Archie would love to take you up on that. But the Submariner is just such a legendary watch. I mean, it created the genre of the sports watch, and it did it not with bravado and pretension. It did it with honesty and hard work. And the Submariner itself, I've had heaps of them. I've had the 5508 no crown guard model. I've had heaps of 5513s, 5512s. I've had 1680 red, 1680 white. I've had the 16610 version, and I've had the no date 14060, and I love them all. And I've also had the two-tone and the solid gold versions, and I've got to say, you know, there's very good reason why the Submariner is so popular, and that's because it's just such a fantastic watch. It's waterproof. It's you know, it's quite useful. The timing mechanism on it, although it's not as good as like a chronometer, sorry, a chronograph, it's actually a very handy feature to have. And it's also just such a lovely piece of kit. I mean, it's steel, it's got a large crown on it, it's got a bezel that moves. What more could a man want? And that's why the Submariner and the Sea Dweller have become so popular. And Archie's a huge admirer of the Sub, although he has given it a lot of stick lately. And that's mainly because the type of assholes who've bought the Submariner. But look, in all honesty, it's a great watch. And Archie's got a very soft spot for the 14060. That's the no date steel sub, and he's owned a few. That's always been one of Archie's favourites. Without the date, it's got a classic look to the dial. It just is a beautiful piece, and Archie would like to get another one. But the prices, to be honest with you, bang per buck, they aren't the greatest value piece around now because they are so popular. So it's a victim of its own success. But the Submariner and the Sea Dweller itself, they're classics in the range, and I don't think I could produce a series on legends without mentioning them, and for very good reasons. They're a fantastic, iconic watch. And if realistically, if you had to say you only could have one watch, you couldn't certainly do anything wrong with a subby. And a lot of people do have that as their only watch, and it's certainly a great choice. The Submariner from Rolex is probably one of the greatest sports watches of all time. And although I find the popularity very cliche, it is what it is, and Archie would like to honor it for being one of the greatest watches of all time. And the wonderful thing about the Submariner is that it has always been a tool watch, and it was just such a fantastic piece of kit to have there. And you know, the interesting thing is, if you want a watch to go deep, what the answer is, one of the greatest watches for diving is actually a watch that has an oil-filled movement. So the movement's actually submersed in oil. So the whole watch has oil in it, and that's the secret for going super deep. But the truth is, the Submariner is just such a wonderful piece of kit, and you can't deny it. And the truth of the matter is, I mean, sports watches don't get any more famous than the Submariner. And it's probably, besides the Rolex Datejust, the Submariner is one of the all-time favourites in the Rolex range. And it's, you know, it's a classic piece which I think will have a long history on it there. And Archie's always got a space in his heart for a subby. So if any very wealthy fans out there would like to donate one to Archie, Archie would gladly put it on and spruik its good points there. So anyhow, I'm Archie Luxury, and I hope you've enjoyed this Wristwatch Legends series on the Submariner. Bye bye.